Well, hello there and welcome to the first video of Bute Road. This is going to be a complete change from the previous layouts that I've been doing over the last couple of years. So those who've been following the 7mm sidings, the O-gauge layout in mainly the blue period, will know that I was going to go in for a change, that I'd come to the end of the road with that as far as doing scenic work is concerned, and I wanted to do something new. So Bute Road is going to be a complete departure from that. The two layouts that were in here from 7mm sidings, so the actual 7mm sidings layout and Bench Road are both now gone. All the stock is gone and I'm starting afresh in OO gauge. So part one today is going to be about the planning and what I intend to do and where we are so far. So a quick look around to show you what's what in here. Right, let's have a look. So the first thing to say, yes, it's a mess. This frame here is the height the layout was on before, with the layout being about 3 inches above sitting on there. And I want the new layout to be higher, so I've already raised the end portion there by just over 6 inches, because I wanted to move the trays and the bits and pieces that were under the low level workbench to here. I wanted more light, which I've got from above now, and I also wanted to be able to sit higher when I'm actually doing modelling and detailing, etc. I moved the bench out 8 inches to give me room to put the trays on the back, so now I've got a nice clear area to sit and do my modelling and detailing and that sort of thing. So that's that. The layout itself, it's going to go all around the room. That's the area obviously where Bench Road used to be. The framework there has got to be raised up, and this bench has become a clutter gathering area really, so that bench I want to go, which is why I've moved the trays that were underneath it. And then we have to do a new section across the doorway, and as I say, raise this frame here. So that's part one of where we are on that section. Hopefully my grandson's coming in the next day or so and we can make a start on the actual baseboards. As with all my planning, it starts off with a piece of paper and some basic track ideas drawn on. The reason it's yellow paper is because I was given a pack of it some years ago and it's lasted some time. So I start off doodling with ideas, and I've got a rough idea in my mind what I want to do. So once I've got the gem of an idea, the next thing is the era and the stock that are required. And you may have guessed from the intro that we're looking at today's stock. I'm getting inspired by Eastleigh as far as the current stock is concerned, and motive power, etc. So let's have a quick look and see what we've got here. And at the moment we've got a 70 in Colas, and then we've got some DB Schenker and some Colas. There's the new GBRF, standard GBRF there, and again DB Schenker and Colas 37. They're all sound fitted, and so that'll be the motive power for the new layout. Let's have a look at the stock that it's going to be pulling. So where's the layout based and what's the stock going to be? Well, the layout's going to be based in Cornwall, and the stock is going to be predominantly China clay and engineering stock. I want to combine a little bit of both, and that will come more evident in the track plan in a moment, but here's the stock I've got so far. So we've got silver bullets, the weathered ones. We've got the China clay hoppers. I'm hoping to get the new AccuScale and the Cav, what are they called? The other new ones, the Cav Alex ones later on as well. we've got a couple of cargo wagons for the bag cement and some engineering wagons there. They're going to be added to with some more variety. And then we've got the Naco Imries wagons there. The just trying to think of the name of them really. Okay, yeah, JIAs. So I've got a selection of those, both in the weathered condition and in the pristine as well, so they can be weathered up to suit. So that's the sort of rolling stock we're looking at. That's the collection so far. As I say, there's 9 CDAs. The beauty of the China clay trains, of course, is they're not necessarily that long. They tend to be around about 8, 9-ish of these wagons, and the same with the silver bullets. So we'll see how we get on. Next thing to do is sort out a track plan. Let's have a look at that. So going back about 30 odd years ago, I drew up a plan on a sheet of A4 paper and just marked it off into 1-inch squares, and the idea being that would give me a grid so I can draw plans more or less to scale, i.e. get points about right, etc. And once I put a piece of paper over the top, so if I then put a plan over the top, I can see through the plan, I can see the grid underneath, and then I can work that out at 1 square is 6 inches, 1 square is 1 foot, 1 square is 2 foot. So for various scales I can work out exactly what I want to do. So let's see where I am with this plan on here at the moment. So here we go. As I say, it's yellow paper because that's what I was given a bundle of. Struggling to get this into focus, so here we go. Right, so this area here is the workbench, so I'm sort of standing about here at the moment over the workbench, and the trays are along under this section here. So this is a narrow section underneath the trays that are along the back of here. So it will make those easy to get to and give me a nice workbench so I can look down on here. But let's start at the opposite corner. Let's start over at the doorway. So across the door it's going to be a flap, a drop down section, a lift out section that I haven't planned fully yet, but I'm hoping to do a viaduct there or a bridge of some sort to give me some depth to the layout and make it a little bit interesting. We then move across to the end of the scenic section here, which will be, I'm looking at a virtual quarry. Same idea as I did on my Kingsmill layout, and also a similar idea to what we have at Eastleigh, where ballast wagons are loaded and that sort of thing. And if I just move across here for 1 second, I've got a photograph of the old Kingsmill layout, and you can see there I had a ballast siding on Kingsmill, and it just formed a nice little scenic section. It won't be as big as that. It'll only be probably 2 tracks, although I've drawn 3 on here at the moment. I'm probably only going to get 2 tracks in there, so we'll see. Then moving on down here, the baseboard join is here, and that will be the start of this platform. The hatch lines there are the platform, which I'm hoping to have on the curve with the footbridge and the station building. And on the inside here I'm looking at putting in 3 loops to hold the clay trains. So the clay trains will come out from this branch here and go back in there. So they'll come out so I can hold a train that's coming out from the clay whilst another one passes coming in on the other line, and then get the clearance to go down what will be the single track branch down to the clay works down here, i.e. Fiddleyard. And then the main platform will be a 2 track that will come around there. Fiddleyard, as I say, that will come from over the workbench. I'm hoping for about 6 or 8 track through line and probably 3 or 4 dead end. And then this area at the far end here, I'm still working on baseboard width for that, but I'm looking at just a simple scenic section there as we come back around to the door. And as I said earlier, through the actual plan, through the paper, you can see the grids underneath through the paper, and I know that Pico Point roughly 9-10 inches, so I can allow for that when I'm drawing. I can draw more or less to scale on the plan. So that's how I do the planning. We're going to see if it comes out anything like that. My planning normally doesn't, I warn you, but we'll have a go and see how it comes out. The next thing now is working out where the baseboard joins will be properly. So this isn't drawn to scale, this is drawn to size as opposed to scale. So I know that along the back there I've got 11 foot along the back, so two lengths of 5 foot 5 inches by 2 foot wide. That leaves me a 4 foot by 2 foot into this corner, and then over the workbench roughly 3.5 feet by 1 foot, and then opening out here to a 6 foot by 2 foot board, which I'll cut the corner off so I've still got room for my guitars and other bits and pieces. And then board E at this end, I'm hoping to go 2 foot wide, but I may have to trim that back a bit depending on access room, etc. And then the door section will be either a flap, a drop down, a lift out, or whatever, and again that gives me a rough idea on that. So then I can look at what I need in the way of timber. So white faced hardboard, that would be for the back seam. So I need a sheet of 8 foot by 4 foot times 2, cut down the middle to give me 4 lots of 8 foot by 2 foot. And then 9mm ply, I need one board cut into 5.5 feet by 2 feet, and the bit off the end will give me section B at the end of the layout. And then section C, I don't need section D now, I can use that from spares. Section E 8 foot by 2 foot, and then worked out what battens and screws I need, and over centre latches to basically hold the layout together. That then gives me a proper cutting list then, so I can go to my timber supplies and say, right, I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that, and then just other bits and pieces that I need whilst I'm at the DIY centre. So there we go. So that's how I do the planning, and I hope that's been useful for you. As I said, sometimes the planning doesn't always go to plan, and occasionally alterations have to be made along the way, compromises now and again, and changes of mind as things progress, and this will work, that'll work, this won't work, and that won't work. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to put out around about a video a week or something in that sort of format, showing the build as we go right from the ground up, and then you'll get some idea of how it's going to come together. You've got an idea of the stock that's going to be used, and the locomotives, motive power, that sort of thing, the area I'm going to model, and all we've got to do now is my grandson's a builder, so he's coming round hopefully next week. We're going to go up to the timber centre in his van, collect the materials. He's got a trade discount, and we'll get the materials, and then we'll come back and we'll put the baseboards together, and you'll see all that in part 2 hopefully, which will follow on from this one. But thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been of use to you. If you've never planned a layout before, there's a lot of people out there that have planned, but other ideas come to mind, and you know, you might find it useful. But thank you very much indeed for watching, and we'll see you again in Bute Road part 2. Thanks. Bye now.